We're going to take a look at our feature race of the afternoon, the Longines Singapore Gold Cup. A capacity field of 16 to go from the 2,200 metres. A couple of emergency runners should there be any problems leading up to the race, but we certainly hope that is not the case. War Affair on track for history. He heads towards the Triple Crown after winning the first two legs. But look at the lineup behind him. All these horses have won really good races here in Singapore, and it is just an outstanding field. Trapeus, last year's winner, has come up with the outside barrier. Emperor's Banquet comes up with gate number 1. We go down to Valbuena, and then Magical Talent and Brilliant Deal are the horses waiting to get into the field. Well, it's a very good lineup. We're going to show you the interviews that were recorded straight after the barrier draw on Wednesday, starting off with Danny Beasley, who rides the favourite.
Yeah, that's okay. Like, it's not ideal when you see the number come up 14, and I've got Quetcher and Lazar outside me, so I'm pretty happy about that.
It's always been in the back of our mind, but I think War Affair winning the other day really sealed the deal, pushing us not from top weight. So we moved down from the top 58 to 57, which is pretty good.
Not the greatest of marbles, but at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen here in a race, what the weather's going to play like, and at the end of the day, we're going to be on the outside, so we're just going to have to see what happens and take it from there.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with him. He worked well this morning too, and David Flores, he worked him, and he was very happy with him.
Recent trial with blinkers. Is he going to wear blinkers in the Gold Cup?
Yes. James McDonald rode him last start, and he said if he put blinkers on him, he should improve a lot. He said he was having a bit of a loaf. He had a good economical run in the early part of the race, and he's an on-pace runner, so should be all right.
Do you think the weight turnaround to War Affair is enough to turn the tables?
Well, it's going to be difficult for War Affair. Like, he's drawn out very wide and with top weight. I know Better never drew the outside, but he had 60 kilos, but didn't do him any favours.
Well, look, I know he's unproven at the 2-2, but pedigree-wise says he'll get the distance, and his lead-up runs have been really, really pleasing. You know, I couldn't be happier with his lead-up runs, so he's coming into the race nice and fit.
And you meet War Affair 9 kilos better?
Yeah, that's... I need it because we know how the top horse he is, but when it comes down to handicapping and with his barrier draw, he's got to be a superstar to win, and maybe he is.
Not ideal, but I think he drew somewhere similar last year, so he's a get-back horse, so barrier probably isn't as significant as perhaps other runners may have needed it.
And the blinker pacifiers, we saw him trial very well in those a few weeks ago. Will you pull them out for the big race?
Yeah, I will. I was happy with how he trialled him, and I've sort of just been keeping him up my sleeve until Sunday, so he'll wear them on Sunday, and hopefully with a little bit of luck in running and all that, I expect him to run well.
So, he's a horse that's I believe is dying to go this crown. He went the last start, he ran third. It was a good third. Probably he's now got a bit more mileage under the belt to go this type of a trip. And he's come up with a great draw. He's got options from their draw, and he's really trialled well during the week, and he looks great.
Corey, the decision to ride Keshwar over Goodman, was that a tough one?
It was. Obviously, Goodman's an old favourite of mine, and he's been racing very, very well. But I just come down to weights, basically. I just thought Quetcher's runs and the way that he's been winning, and with a nice light weight on his back, I just thought he was the better option.
Do you think War Affair is beatable?
Look, he's in terrific form, the horse. He sat wide last time out, and he put pay to Goodman so easily and so quickly. He's definitely sort of racing in a league of his own at the moment.
Well, he's got a light weight, and he hasn't been beaten since he was gelded in Australia, and then he arrived up here, and he's unbeaten here, and I think his last win was the easiest one of his last three, so I'm happy with him. It's his first run beyond 1,400 metres, but it's a big, strong horse, and if it's a heavy track, he'll be right in it with his light weight.
Laurie Laxon certainly with plenty of ammunition for the Longines Singapore Gold Cup, but the horse they've all got to beat is War Affair. He's won the first two legs. Let's take a look at his track work, and what can you tell us about this guy leading in? Is he any different to the first two legs?
From a track work point of view,
yeah.
Yes. From a track work point of view, he was given a stronger hitter on the Wednesday before the Raffles Cup. He clocked around 33.8. I had him going that morning. This time around, it was just a maintenance gallop, 39 seconds. He's done everything he needs to do. Just bring on the race for him now.
Corey Brown did make a significant point. He was on Goodman in the white colours there, and War Affair just brushed by him, didn't he?
He did. He gave Step It Up a bit of a brush as well. This is, well, so many runners coming through this race, but he was way too strong for them. But on this occasion, he carried 57, and he was getting a kilo from a lot of these runners. He shaved up Goodman as well, but he was just so far superior to the others that the only way they're going to beat him here is with the weight turnaround and the barrier, and those things are there, so it could be on the cards, but he is head and shoulders above anything else at the moment at weight for age, sort of level weights conditions, but it's a handicap here, so it changes things.
Yeah, he's going very well. We're going to have a look at that again because there are so many horses. We've got 10 runners coming through this. We're going to highlight at least 8 of them for you, and these are probably the second stringers, would you say, with the exception maybe of Trapeus?
Yeah, maybe Trapeus, and the other horse I didn't talk about in the past replay was Knight's Command. So I'll have a look at the replay in question here, and Knight's Command, who ran 4th in that particular race, ran home particularly well. Here it is. Knight's Command, Edward, where's he? Oh, he's in the purple colours near the outside, and Trapeus is right behind him, and both those horses, well, Knight's Command makes a lot of ground, but I think Trapeus, we can expect big improvement.
We can. He's obviously last year's winner, Trapeus. He hasn't won since then, but I didn't mind his effort, and the important thing is he gets back to a handicap. Knight's Command goes from 58 to 50 kilos, as you mentioned in the interviews, Matt, meets War Affair, 9 kilos better, had the perfect preparation for this race. Probably wasn't suited by the slowest tempo up front, but I like the way that he's been making ground on his rivals.
Step It Up and Goodman, he's a little star, this one, Step It Up, and they've produced a set of blinkers for him.
I wasn't wowed by his trial with the blinkers, but I did like his track work this time better than how he worked leading into the Raffles Cup. So I think he's a better chance than what we saw last time.
And Bruce Marsh, well, he's got a couple of really good lightweight chances here.
These two have done a lot of their work together lately, and they worked together Saturday and they worked well, and they worked together for their final time on Wednesday. I think they're both going very well, and I just really like the preparation of Knight's Command. I've sort of had him as my Gold Cup horse for the last month now. Yeah,
most of the best horses went to the 1800 metre Raffles Cup at weight for age. Probably the second tier went to the El Dorado, but that was over 2002, and we know that Keshwa was super strong at the end of the 2002.
Yeah, and last year, Edward, the El Dorado threw up. Trapeus came through that race, did he? And
Trapeus and
Iraqi
Karako came out of it. Yes, that's right.
It's highly possible the winner could come through this race with Keshwa winning so well. That's Cheetah on Fire back near the inside making ground. And the one thing about Bruce Marsh's runners, Knight's Command and Cheetah on Fire, they're both drawn outstandingly well. And Val Buena, well, Laurie's got so many horses in the race. I'm not sure this one's going to be the one that wins it, but he does run home very well at the end.
He does. That's the best performance I think we've had from him in Singapore. He's a Group 2 winner in New Zealand over 2100 metres, so he's proven over a bit of ground. I don't think we can forget about Emperor's Banquet either. He ran well there.
He did, and he's drawn Gate 1, Craig.
He has indeed. Ideal guy. But this was a surprise for me. When he won last week, I didn't think for one moment he'd be entered for the Gold Cup.
No, don't think anybody did. Oh, well, obviously someone did.
Well, we get the handicaps on the Monday night, and I think from what we saw of the Gold Cup field, it was as expected, but not ideal guide. 1400 metres, he's done everything right here, he's undefeated, but over these trips, he beat Seabros last time out. Seabros wouldn't get anywhere near them in a Group 1, let's be fair. I think he's one of the least likely of any of them, to be honest. I
wouldn't. I think he's just a complete unknown. I don't think you can use Seabros as a reference because it's just a different race, isn't it? Like 1400 metres. I think he's got some sort of a hope.
My issue, I'll be more frank, I don't think he can win Group 1 races, you know, with the sort of preparation that he's had. That's just my thought. It seems a little bit of an
I don't think he's got a chance at all. He's one that I did put a line through, but I thought there was 10 or 11 definite chances. Tremendous little race. What about Trapeus? Tommy Berry, he's been here twice by my reckoning. He's won a Gold Cup and he's won an International Cup. Great strike rate, isn't it?
Yes, anything but a win will be
a disappointment,
backwards. But, well, Trapeus, the fact that he's come over to ride this horse, there must be some pretty positive vibes coming out of the stable. And the only thing we can really sit here and say, apart from winning the race last year, and he gets him at a lightweight again, but his work with the blinker pacifiers at the trial was eye-catching.
The track situation, invariably we get a little bit of rain on Cup Day, and it's been very wet the last couple of weeks here in Singapore. Obviously it drains very well. If it rains Saturday, Sunday should be fine, but if it does rain on Sunday, is there any horses who get a massive advantage from that, do you think?
Well, we heard Laurie in that interview say that Ideal Guide, he loves it wet. I think Keshwa brings a good reputation on a wet track from Argentina?
Yeah, I believe so. Obviously, we haven't seen him on an affected track here in Singapore. Okay, time for... sorry,
I was just going to... Well, I could have kept going there. I mean, Flax, Lazar, and the list goes on, but it's all on the race book for everyone to see.
It is. Even Flax, he gets a really good rider. Mark Duplessis was a champion rider here in Singapore. His run wasn't too bad in the last race.
No, and... He's just a lovely little horse, and he hasn't had too much luck. He's had to win this campaign. He can run well. It's a star-studded lineup.
Well, I'm going to go with War or Affair. I'm going to go for the two horses I probably tipped from the handicaps on Monday night. They're both drawn terribly, but I think they might be the classiest two, War Affair and Keshwa. Emperor's Banquet from the barrier draw goes into third, and Knight's Command top four.
Well, at 434 kilos, Step It Up won't know himself with 53.5. With the blinkers going on, he's in form and he's drawn well. I'm going to go with Step It Up to win, to beat War Affair, Goodman and Knight's Command.
War Affair's the best horse in the race at the moment. It would be great to see him win. I'll go for him. I'll be cheering for him to beat Knight's Command, Step It Up and Keshwa.